us up today. We have the very first person who responded, "I'm in," when I said, "What do you say we make a local chapter of the Smartypants Society?" Ben O'Connor.
Yay.
Woo. Good afternoon, everyone. I know when Bonita set all this up that we sort of established a stay away from the political angle of things, and I really tried. However, the reality of the world is that everything is politics, and there's no way to avoid it. And so I am sort of here to let you all know that there is an almost invisible force that is oppressing all of you that nobody talks about. We have sexism, we have racism, we have all the isms that exist in the world, but this one isn't an ism. But it is something that is actively oppressing almost everyone in this room right now. And I know for a fact that it has oppressed everyone in this room at one point. And I am here to sort of set you free from that, because pants are bullshit. Now, I have given up pants almost for about 2.5 years now, I would say. It is the most freeing thing ever. And what I would say is that it's hard to imagine a world without pants, because, like I said, they're everywhere. Every person in this room, except Bonita and myself, are currently wearing pants. And I can see how uncomfortable just about everybody is in their pants. So, how in the world did we allow these pants, these articles of clothing that have existed as long as humans have existed, to take over? Well, we have to start with this guy. Henry VIII, King of England. He probably the most evil person to ever exist, and I know that that's saying a lot, because there's a lot of evil people, but he's the reason we have pants as the norm.
He looks evil.
Yeah. So, pants have existed, like I said, since the beginning of humanity. They've always worn pants, but they've been a utility item more so than a fashion item. There are always going to be things where pants are just a little bit better than long flowing robes or short skirts, kilts, what have you. But Henry VIII, he sort of shifted everything from having function to fashion. And for one reason, and one reason only. The dude had amazing calves. And as someone who also has amazing calves, I understand the need and desire to show them off to anybody who will look at them. But in traditional Tudor style, he wore long, multiple layers of robes that went down to the floor. You couldn't see his feet, let alone his calves. But being king of England, he needed to show his military prowess, and so from a young age, he trained with swords, he trained on horses, and he knew that the pants that he would wear, the breeches for riding and the pads that go underneath your armor, those showed off his calves very nicely. So what he did was he started to wear those and then have his tailors cut his robes at the knee to allow for his calves to be shown off very nicely. And the way fashion works is the way that fashion has always worked, where the powerful do something, and then the less powerful do that same thing, and then the less powerful follow them. And so he started to do it, and his courtesans started to do it, and then the merchants started to do it, and then the peasants started to do it. And it has been almost 500 years of pant fashion that has sort of spread all over the world, also because of Henry VIII. he is the king when, he's born just before the Europeans find their way into North and South America. He is the king when England really starts to go out and explore this new to them continent. And it is those adventures, or those, not adventures, ventures out into this space that sort of start the British Empire. Those are the first steps that eventually would cause England to conquer most of the known world and spread their fashion and their traditions so the whole world now wears pants, which is how pants became evil. They are a tool of oppression, and this is where the presentation stops being funny, starts getting a little serious. But pants are evil. Think about it. Where are most of your pants made? At least for the time being. In China, in the sweatshops, right? Yeah. Pants are evil. Although I probably also wearing clothes. It's not any better, but pants are one of those things that are currently made. But science also says that pants are bullshit. So what I mean by that is, we live in upstate New York. It is cold. It was cold 3 days ago. Today, not so much. We had snow less than a week ago. And the question that I always get asked whenever I go outside from like the end of September to the beginning of June is, aren't you cold? My answer is the same. No, I'm not. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm walking from my house to the car, and then I'm walking from my car to wherever I'm going. That's the only reason to go outside, right? And trick-or-treating. And so I'm not cold. But science, this is where science comes in. Science actually can prove that dresses and skirts keep you warmer through thermodynamics and the conservation of energy. Yes.
This reminds me of mittens and gloves.
Yes.
That's right.
It's exactly the mittens and glove theory, where mittens will keep your hands warmer than gloves, because I'm not going to describe all these fancy charts because I only barely understand them. But one of the things that I do know is that heat transfers from the warmer thing to the colder thing, and it only does that at the surface. Every piece of, or all of the material on the inside of something is going to stay that temperature and continue to move their energy toward the next level until it escapes to the coldest level. Now, while pants and skirts typically have the same amount of surface area, what they don't have is the same volume of air that you're trapping within your leg area. Skirts and dresses have much more volume, and so the air actually stays warmer underneath a skirt or a dress than it would in a pair of pants. That being said, there are certain circumstances where pants are better than skirts and dresses. Like I will admit that, because I would never wear a dress or a skirt in the Arctic.
Probably for space too.
I mean, that's a really good point.
Right. If we're making contact with the aliens, we need to be properly dressed.
So yes, the reason why pants are good for insulation is because you can layer them much more conveniently. You can close off your skin to the outside temperature. So if the temperatures get below a certain level, yes, please wear pants. It is safer, it is better than wearing a kilt or a skirt or kilt or dress or what have you. Again, pants, bullshit. Science is confirming that with us. Now, this is sort of the end of my conclusion. I did, however, anticipate some of your questions. The first question is, where can I get a kick-ass sporran? This is a sporran. It is a traditional Scottish purse for wearing kilts. You cannot get one like this unless someone makes it for you, and mine was made by Dr. Bonita Bryson. How can I become part of this pantsless revolution that you are proclaiming here? And I just stop wearing pants. That's all you gotta do.
I feel like it would be a good transition. Like maybe there's a business that will take your pants and turn it into skirts.
Oh! We'll talk later. Read that.
Yeah. Oh, that's the most Juan comment ever.
Now, since pants are bullshit, and in fact not a smart choice, should we change the name of our Smartypants Society? I think yes, we absolutely should, and I'm open for suggestions. And finally, can I touch your amazing calf? Yes, you can. Thank you for asking before just coming over and touching that. Are there other questions that I did not anticipate? What?
Why not just go pantless in general?
Society has expectations that we have to meet, and that is all I can say on that.
Thoughts on. Oh wait, which one was getting pointed at?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thoughts on leggings under skirts or tights?
I would say that in general, most pants that are most leg coverings that are geared more towards the female presenting people are even more of a form of oppression than just pants in general.
You're too nice. Down with the pants.
Yes. I mean, think about it. Steve, can you stick your hands in your pockets for me for a second? Look at that. Em, how far can you stick your hands in your pockets?
Real.
Oh, those are real pockets.
Fancies are real.
Actually, wait, they might have real ones in the back.
Yeah. So this is
Okay.
an interesting. We have a male to non-binary and a female transition.
I will tell you, I bought men's pants and I can
Okay.
get like my forearm.
Yeah.
I have like
men's-
a pair of men's
It's
dress pants
ridiculous.
and I can get my hand down to like.
Now, I also say this is a kilt. This is typically a skirt worn by men, traditional to Scotland, and in fact, this skirt has pockets. Most skirts do not have pockets, so far as I know. So yeah, clothing geared toward female presenting folks is oppressive, just as a rule. So I don't agree with that, unless again it's cold, like kind of cold out, and you don't want to. I mean, the Celts or the Scottish, they wear socks that come up to here, and that's not just an excuse to. Show the calves again. So it can be, you can warm yourself or keep warm if it gets too cold.
Yes, my reasoning is that I have to walk from school to my house, and it is very cold. So mother, it's not a long walk, and it's fun.
Is it
but
uphill both ways?
It's only fun when I have proper clothes, and I do like leggings or tights because then I can wear a skirt.
Okay.
Would you like a slow pan down to your calves?
That would be amazing. Here, let me.
All right. Whoa.
I couldn't get a good enough picture. I tried to do it by myself. But don't think I didn't think about it.
So similar to the leggings question, right? Under my long pants, I have very short pants. Would you recommend like continuing to wear short pants, or like maybe like a longer skirt under the even longer skirt?
Are you referring to underwear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So this is a particularly sensitive question in Scotland. I got yelled at for wearing underwear with a kilt in Scotland because you're not supposed to do that.
I love that someone knew that you were wearing There's a story.
Oh
here.
no! He asked me if I was wearing. I was like, we have a rule here. Are you wearing underwear? I'm like, yes. He's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, that's too bad. I'm American.
I thought he was like, I didn't see your ass.
And I'm angry about it.
Yes, no. So what I will say to that is, when the kilt was first created, the shirt, the Jacobite shirt that was typically worn with them, went down to your knees. So you were wearing underwear that was not rubbing up against the wool of the kilt. and had a protective layer between your genitals and your kilt. So the fact that they don't wear underwear is in and of itself sort of a lie, and they've just sort of continued the masculine thing of, oh, I'm more masculine than you because I'm not wearing underwear. Sterling, I saw your hand.
What about shorts?
Okay. Now we're getting into this sort of,
What is a pants?
yes, what constitute pants, and the context for wearing shorts, because shorts are great. However, they're called shorts because that's short for short pants. And again, there are contexts where pants and shorts would be acceptable. I don't think I would feel comfortable in, say, a gym class doing sit-ups or push-ups in a kilt, or any kind of physical activity that involves a lot of jumping, because the thing does. I mean, it twirls great, which is awesome. I do love that. But when it goes all the way up, you're like, oh, you're in a children's trampoline park and your skirt goes all the way up. You're like, oh, they're going to call the police on me. That I would say there are some places where shorts are okay. Lounging around the house is a good place for that. Gym classes, things like that, where you're being physically active and not wanting to flash other folks.
Yes, so I have a question. Is there a degree of difference in evil between hard pants and soft pants?
Yes. I would say 100%. Soft pants are definitely better, so long as they're soft and baggy.
Yes.
Because the biggest issue that I think I have with pants, and most people have with pants, is that they bunch up in the sensitive areas whenever you're trying to move around or sitting down. Or, I mean, the reason the kilt exists is because the Scottish men needed to follow their herds up and down mountains, and they would have to sometimes lift their leg all the way up here, and that in pants is very difficult to do. So this is actually hiking attire if you're interested in that. I saw Juan's hand.
Why didn't the evil do the invented pants just invent the mini skirts?
I did not do too much research into miniskirts. I know that they came around in the 60s. That's about all. And I only know that because of Gilligan's Island, because there was a joke in the made-for-TV movie where Skipper says to Gilligan, we missed the miniskirt craze. When we left, they were here, and then they went back up to here, and now they're back down to here again. And he was very sad about that.
It's more of a comment. The only skirts I like to wear are towels and bathrobes.
Is a bathrobe a skirt?
Mine
It's
are
a long flowing robe, like, yeah, I would
I
say.
would consider that like a robe, though. I don't feel like that's the same garment.
It has one hole at the bottom, therefore.
Robes, skirts,
Topologically.
dresses. It's a specifically for a bath. After getting out of the shower or out of the bath. So it is a robe. I mean, Henry Tudor wore robes. They were fancy robes that you would wear out in public. There are, I would say, preferences where wearing pants would be okay. I would warn against it, but that's just me.
I don't know, I'm first.
To go back to a couple questions ago, and this might get me kicked out of the Smartypants Society, but what are hard pants versus soft pants?
What you're
So
wearing
it's
is
the difference
hard.
between jeans and pajama pants and sweatpants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hard pants have hardware,
Oh.
zippers, and
Okay. Can you send me that? Okay. Thank you very much.
If the pants is baggy enough and you put both legs through one hole, into the skirt.
I would have to say yes. If you're using one hole as the, and I'm sure there are pants that are baggy enough. Yeah, absolutely.
belt or suspenders.
See, that's one of my biggest problems with pants in general, is that you have to wear some kind of thing to keep them up because they fall down. And it doesn't matter what shape or size your body is. When you sit down, if you're wearing a belt, it's going to cut into your belly. If you're wearing suspenders, you look silly.
I want to look silly.
There is a time and a place for looking silly. I'm all for that. But suspenders are just no for me.
Oh, how did you get such amazing calves?
How did I get such amazing calves? I was born with them. I inherited them from my father. They are the thing that my mother was most attracted to on him. And for some reason, I got them as well. And
You're also a runner.
I am also a runner. Well, so if most runners have these really like distance runners, which is what I am.
That's true.
They have these like little narrow. They don't have nice calves.
Stairs.
It's probably the stairs. Yes.
Do you run in skirts?
I have. It's not the best. This is one of those instances where pants actually works better because of where the kilt sits on your waist. It tends to fall down when you're running, and then because even whatever shape your body's in, this spot is bigger than this spot, and so by the time it gets down to here, they're falling down completely off.
So your calves weren't an intentional display of your military prowess.
No comment.
Have you looked into the connection between the decline in male fertility and pants?
I did not. However, I would
You are talking to a
assume
man with 3 kids, so.
that the
You can do a Pants Are Evil Part 2.
oh yeah, tune in next time.
Is just because I feel like he's in every other fashion thing I don't like. Is Beau Brummel mixed up in this somewhere?
I don't know who that is.
Oh,
So you like pants.
next month.
Okay.
Or maybe a couple months from now.
I don't remember Beau Brummel having anything to say about
What about
wearing
the
shirts,
use
sir.
the use of belts for self-defense?
Oh, again, if because you won't need them to keep your pants up because you're not in pants anymore, you can absolutely use, and I highly recommend using belts as in self-defense.
I will say, once genitals are out, people back off. Yeah.
Fair point.
So your kilt has pockets, correct?
Yes.
Do you ever put enough stuff or heavy enough stuff in your pockets to the point where you need like a belt or suspenders?
Well, if kilts and suspenders, not the best thing because then it just comes up here and it's not a good sight. I do have a belt that I sometimes wear with this, but the thing about kilts is that they're so adjustable that it is its own belt. And in fact, most Scottish men that wear kilts don't actually wear them with belts. They just cinch it up as tight as they can get it so that it hits their hips and doesn't go anywhere. Yeah.
What are the merits of belts in self-offense?
Self-offense, I don't know.
Slightly off topic.
Does wearing kilts have some sort of cultural appropriation aspect to it?
Yes.
So I actually had a different question instead of the Smartypants question here that addressed that, and I would say no, for many reasons. One, Scotland is part of the United Kingdom, which was part of the British Empire, which is a key part of the British Empire.
But do they want to be a part of it? Or are they
Every
also
vote that
the-
they've ever taken since, in my lifetime has been said that they do.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate. But I would say no, wear a kilt. If you are so inclined, wear the kilt. I would also suggest looking into whatever your ethnicity might be. Pants are not the normal thing that people have worn throughout history. So your cultures also have some kind of flowy garb that you can wear. But kilts absolutely acceptable for anyone.
How do you feel about shirts?
Again,
Shoes or shirt?
shirts. Shoes is a self-evident. Now, that's a whole nother thing. for multiple reasons. But again, I will say that society has expectations that we are forced to meet.
I just wanted to bring up the fact that skirts and shirts came from the same word through different languages.
Yes.
in English.
Yes.
They were tunics.
Oh, interesting.
So the dress is a skirt.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on shoes?
We're getting off the topic of.
Shoes are bullshit. Nice to put a handprint on your TV.